Khalid ibn al-Walid was born around 592 in Mecca into the Banu Makhzum clan, one of the most powerful families of the Quraysh tribe. The Banu Makhzum were known for their wealth, leadership, and military expertise. His father, Walid ibn al-Mughira, was one of the wealthiest and most respected leaders in Mecca, famous for his influence over Quraysh politics. His family was responsible for defending Mecca, and warfare was in their blood. From a young age, Khalid was trained to become a warrior. His training was rigorous. He mastered swordsmanship, archery, horseback riding, and combat strategy. Unlike many children of nobility, Khalid wasn't just raised in luxury, he was prepared for war. By the time he reached his teenage years, he was already feared for his skills in combat. Early encounters with Islam. When Prophet Muhammad began preaching Islam in Mecca, the Quraysh elite, including Khalid's clan, saw it as a direct threat to their power and influence. Islam promoted equality and challenged the Quraysh's economic and social dominance. Khalid's father, Walid ibn al-Mughira, was among the loudest voices against Islam. So naturally, Khalid grew up viewing Muslims as enemies. As Islam gained followers, tensions between the Quraysh and the Muslims escalated. The Muslims faced persecution and many fled to Medina with the Prophet Muhammad, where they built a new community. But the Quraysh, including Khalid, were determined to stop Islam from spreading. The Battle of Uhud 625. Khalid's rise as a military genius. One of the first major battles where Khalid ibn al-Walid gained fame was the Battle of Uhud. At this time, he was not yet a Muslim. He fought on the Quraysh side, leading the cavalry. The Quraysh sought revenge for their defeat in the Battle of Badr 624, where the Muslims, despite being outnumbered, had won a decisive victory. Determined to reclaim their honor, the Quraysh gathered an army of 3,000 warriors to march against Prophet Muhammad and his followers, who had about 700 fighters only. During the battle, Khalid commanded the Quraysh cavalry. Initially, the Muslims held their ground and pushed the Quraysh back. The Muslim archers stationed on a hill called Jabal al-Roma were ordered by Prophet Muhammad to stay in position no matter what. But as the battle seemed to turn in the Muslims' favor, many of the archers left their positions to collect spoils, thinking that the battle was won. This was the turning point Khalid has been waiting for. With lightning speed, Khalid led his cavalry in a flanking maneuver, circling behind the Muslims' army and attacking from the rear. This surprise ambush turned the tide of the battle. The Muslims were caught off guard and chaos erupted. Many were killed, including Prophet Muhammad's uncle Hamza ibn Abdul Muttalib, and Prophet Muhammad himself was wounded. Also, the Quraysh didn't fully destroy the Muslim army. Khalid's strategy had secured a major victory. His tactical brilliance in this battle earned him a reputation as one of the best military commanders in the Arabia. The turning point, a restless warrior. After Uhud, Khalid continued to fight against the Muslims in various battles, but something began to change in him. Over time, he noticed something strange. No matter how many times the Quraysh fought Muhammad, they could never completely defeat him. He heard stories of Prophet Muhammad's leadership, about the discipline of the Muslims' army and the unity of the believers. As someone obsessed with military strategy, Khalid respected strong leadership and tactics, and he began to wonder, why did the Muslims keep winning despite being outnumbered? Why did their morale never break even when facing death? This was the beginning of a deep eternal conflict that would soon lead Khalid ibn al-Walid to make the most shocking decision of his life, to abandon the Quraysh and join the very people he once fought to destroy. After the Battle of Uhud, Khalid continued to serve as one of the Quraysh top military commanders. He participated in later conflicts against Muslims, including the Battle of the Trench, 627, but over time, his views began to shift. Khalid's family embraces Islam. Around this time, Khalid's brother Walid ibn al-Walid converted to Islam and moved to Medina. Walid wrote letters urging Khalid to reconsider his stance, telling him that Muhammad was truly a prophet and that Islam was the future. Khalid ignored these letters at first, but deep down he felt uncertain. Khalid's secret journey to Medina, 629. By the end of 628, Khalid was restless. He had spent years fighting the Muslims, yet their numbers only grew. One night he decided to leave Mecca without telling anyone. Along the way he met two other high-ranking Quraysh nobles, Amr ibn al-As and Usman ibn Talha, who also had doubts about the Quraysh cause. Together they traveled to Medina to meet Prophet Muhammad. When Khalid arrived, Prophet Muhammad greeted him warmly, saying, "I knew that a man as intelligent as you would not remain ignorant of the truth for long." Khalid immediately embraced Islam, pledging loyalty to the Prophet. In that moment, the Quraysh's greatest military mind had switched sides. Khalid becomes the sword of Allah. With Khalid now a Muslim, his first test, the Battle of Mota, 629.